Okay, you guys, Dakota and Felicity are done. Like, finally. After what feels like a lifetime of chaos, manipulation, and ungrateful behavior, Karma has officially entered the group chat. All the times they disrespected Corso, the one person who literally kept them fed, housed, and safe, are now catching up to them. And for once, it looks like their messy storyline might actually be reaching its long overdue ending. Because Corso, the same man who drove them to appointments, bought them food, found them housing, and defended them to the internet, has finally said, I'm done. And if you follow this saga, you know this is not something he says lightly. Corso has been through every possible version of their chaos, and this time, it sounds like he is stepping away for good. But how did we get here? How did a medical emergency, a social worker, and a cameo scandal all collide into a final downfall of Dakota and Felicity? Let's break it down piece by piece because this story is layered and it's not just about friendship, it's about accountability. Quick reset for anyone new here. Dakota and Felicity are a TikTok couple who have built their entire online identity around dysfunction, breakups, and reconciliation. Their closest friend, Corso, has spent months as their unpaid life manager, covering bills, mediating arguments, and offering endless emotional support.
So today I took Dakota and his girlfriend out to eat, and she did not like this lady talking to her man.
He's got a girlfriend, so. You the girlfriend? Yeah, I'm the girlfriend.
After we ate, I thought it'd be a good time for them to get some good pictures.
This is gorgeous.
So I took some pictures, and I think they turned out well. After we got some pictures, she said this.
This would be the best proposal spot ever. For him to propose to me and stuff. Oh.
If you guys won $1 million, what would be the first thing y'all buy?
What? If we won $1 million, what would we spend it on? I don't know. He doesn't know. Engagement ring?
A house?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I think that would have been better.
He saw some pretty flowers and wanted to get some more pictures. So what's y'all's favorite thing to do together?
Really? You don't know? Cuddling, loving each other, having fun, spending time together. We'll go on the trail.
Life's good, Dakota.
Especially with the girlfriend. I stand on this rock so badly.
Do it.
Aha! Victory's mine!
Even though they've both had their ups and downs, they still have come a long way since their first date.
At one point, Corso even got Dakota his own apartment, which Felicity later got banned from after repeated drama. Felicity recently battled a serious kidney infection that turned into sepsis, an infection so bad it nearly took her life. Dakota, meanwhile, has struggled with substance use and instability for years, making him vulnerable to relapse and manipulation. The couple's relationship has been one long cycle of fighting, reconciliation, blaming, and isolating themselves from everyone who tries to help. And now, after all that chaos, both Corso and their mutual friend James have officially backed away. Here's the problem we're unpacking. What happens when people try to save you finally give up? Not long ago, Felicity was rushed to the hospital after a kidney infection caused by an untreated UTI spread through her body and developed into sepsis, a life-threatening condition. Things got really scary really fast. She was so weak, barely conscious at some points, and doctors had to move quickly to stabilize her. She was put on strong antibiotics, hooked up to IV lines, and at one point, she even needed a blood transfusion.
So Felicity's mom finally spoke, and now we understand just how close she came to dying. She didn't just have a UTI. It spread to her kidneys, then turned into sepsis, one of the deadliest infections there is. Her body started shutting down before doctors caught it. Sepsis can take a life in hours. It's that fast, that silent. People online were saying it's just a kidney infection, or even worse, calling her dirty. But that's not how this works. Any woman can get a UTI from bacteria, dehydration, or even stress. It doesn't mean you're unclean. Sometimes your immune system just fails to fight it off, and that's all it takes. Her mom says Felicity's still in the hospital. She's being monitored closely, finally responding to treatment. She's doing better. Not great yet, but better. And thank God for that, because this easily could have gone the other way. So let this be a reminder. Infections aren't minor. They can spiral before you even realize it. And no one deserves to be shamed for getting sick. Felicity's story isn't just about survival. It's about compassion and paying attention.
It was one of those moments where you realize how fragile life can be and how fast things can spiral when someone isn't taking care of themselves. When Felicity was finally discharged, everyone, including the internet, breathed a collective sigh of relief. You could literally feel the tension drop across comments and updates. Corso, of course, was the one holding everything together. He didn't just check in, he physically showed up. He went to the hospital, picked up both Dakota and Felicity, and drove them back to a motel, a place he was still paying for because Felicity was banned from Dakota's apartment. That man had been keeping them afloat for months, and even after everything, he still showed up when it mattered most.
All right, you guys, Felicity is officially out of the hospital. I believe she was in the hospital for 4 days, rough or take about 4 days. She ended up with a UTI that turned into a kidney infection, which turned into sepsis. And then she had blood transfusions. It was like a whole ordeal. It was very scary. She did almost lose her life. And regardless of everything that she's done or your feelings towards her, she didn't deserve to go through something so scary and so horrendous. So I'm glad to see that she's doing a lot better and she's on her way home. But I just wanted to give you guys that little update that she is officially out of the hospital and doing much better. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what she goes out and does now. Hopefully maybe this scared her straight and maybe she'll start acting right, but I seriously doubt it. We'll see.
He even posted a picture with her, both smiling faintly in the car, captioned, "Felicity is out of the hospital and doing much better. We just went and got some yogurt because she can't have solids. Glad she's doing well."
I'm sitting up front this time.
Fine, you're fine.
I'm cold. Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry for everything. It's so early.
Good.
I just got released in.
You did?
Yeah, my phone's about to die. I didn't bring a jacket at all. I didn't know how long it was gonna be.
I got the heated seat on.
I didn't know how long it would be.
So, you want to tell me what happened? What happened?
Let me catch my breath. I was running for my life. Okay, so Dakota wanted to go hang out with some friends at the hotel. They met this elderly dude. Well, he wanted me to stay the night to babysit his dog. And
The guy?
yeah, his name is Roy. That's his name, Roy. Roy wanted me to babysit his dog. Well, I decided just to babysit his dog and let Dakota have a night to himself. Well, that was a bad idea. I was facing towards the air conditioning area.
Yeah.
And he grabbed me by the waist and started pulling me towards him. And I told him no because I have boundaries when I don't know anybody. And he literally said, well, I'm gonna treat you like a lady. He's like, Dakota doesn't know how to treat you like a lady. I had to call the cops and the ambulance.
At first glance, it looked like a sweet, calm moment, a quiet victory after weeks of fear. But if you really looked closely, you could sense something deeper behind that post. It wasn't just relief, it was exhaustion. Because buried in the comments, Corso left a message that spoke volumes. I have decided to take a step back from spending time with them unless it's truly important or they really need me. I feel like I've done all I can. There are things I can't control. I will still be there as a friend, but I want to start focusing on helping others again. And right there, that was the emotional cutoff. That was the exact moment he said enough. After months, maybe even years, of rescuing, funding, comforting, and defending them, he finally hit his wall. You could almost feel him letting go through those words. And honestly, who could blame him? Because, let's be honest, helping people who refuse to help themselves isn't noble, it's self destruction disguised as compassion. Let's be real for a second. This wasn't some dramatic twist. We all saw it coming. Corso had practically become their emotional and financial life support. When they argued, he was the referee. When they were broke, he was the bank. When they ruined opportunities, he cleaned up the mess. He was the one person holding everything together while they tore it apart. But every time he tried to lift them up, they dragged him right back into the mud. And that's the part that hurts, because you can tell he genuinely cared. He didn't have to keep showing up, but he did, over and over again. Yet every act of kindness turned into another episode of chaos. It's emotionally draining to pour into people who refuse to even meet you halfway. Every time Corso tried to create structure, whether it was connecting Dakota with a social worker, finding stable housing, or trying to help them reconnect with their families, it always got blocked by their own choices. The very people he was trying to save were the ones keeping the fire going. At the end of the day, Corso's decision to step back wasn't cold. It wasn't out of anger, it was self preservation. Because compassion without boundaries eventually becomes a trap, and that's exactly what he'd been stuck in for months. Sometimes, walking away is the kindest thing you can do for everyone involved. Without Corcel, Dakota and Felicity were finally forced to face their own reality. No more rescues, no more safety net, just the two of them and their choices. And that's when the real spiral began. And this is the moment the story flips. Dakota and Felicity got exposed for scamming fans on Cameo. After Felicity's hospital stay, people encouraged Corso to open a GoFundMe for them, but he refused. He didn't want pity money. Instead, he set them up with Cameo accounts, giving them a chance to earn legitimately by creating personalized fan videos. All they had to do was film short thank you clips, simple, authentic, easy. Except they didn't. When fans paid for videos, what they got instead were ridiculous clips, nonsense sounds, chaotic laughing, and random gibberish. It wasn't just low effort, it was mocking. They didn't even try to feel what people had paid for. Creator James, who had been publicly vouching for them, found out through one of his followers. Someone who had paid for a Felicity cameo messaged him, saying they felt ripped off. James watched the clips and was furious. He said, "They have gone back to square one. Me and Corso are disappointed. We just wanted to help, but they have made that impossible."
You guys, have you seen James's video on Dakota and Felicity making their cameos? This is ridiculous. This is literally so ridiculous. Let me show you Felicity's video first. Yeah. Somebody paid $25 for that. Alright, now I'm gonna show you Dakota's. At least Felicity made noise. They're scamming, you guys. I'm so sorry, but they're literally scamming on Cameo right now. Don't buy it. Please, please, please do not buy a Cameo because you're gonna get scammed. They're not gonna do it. James called Dakota and was like, "You need to be giving these people what they're paying for," and quote unquote Dakota said, "Those people will get what I want to make." So they're scamming you guys. Don't pay for these cameos. If you already paid for a cameo, please go watch James's video. He talks more in depth about the whole cameo situation. But if you already paid and you got a video like this, they're gonna try to get you guys either your money back or Korcle has also said he will be giving cameos in exchange for this. But they're not taking it seriously. They're not don't waste your time, don't waste your money. They're playing in your faces, you guys. Please don't buy them. Unless that's what you want. If you want a video of them doing something like that, then go for it. But if you have like actual requests and you want a good cameo, don't waste your money. And at this point, if you go in and buy it, that's on you. You're not getting a refund. Okay, you've been warned by me, you've been warned by James. Alright, just don't do it. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that topic is they're out here, they're playing in y'all's faces.
James went live and told followers to stop sending money. You could hear the hurt in his voice because he'd gone out on a limb for them. He was the one defending them when people called them scammers, and now they had proven those critics right. For James, that was it. He said he wouldn't post about them again, wouldn't promote them, and wouldn't vouch for them. Just like that, their last two supporters were gone. The irony? They managed to destroy one opportunity that was completely theirs. No middleman, no drama, just them and their audience. But laziness and lack of accountability turned into yet another disaster. So what does this all reveal? Let's unpack 3 possible explanations. It's hard to ignore how much Felicity seems to influence Dakota's choices. Before she came along, he had direction, he had friends, he had a place to live. But since then, every chapter of their relationship has led them to some form of loss. Every time they split up, Dakota seemed to stabilize. He'd post positive content, hang out with friends, and even clean up his space. But when they got back together, that progress would evaporate. It's like watching someone willingly step back into the fire. This part gets darker. Months back, Corso finally got Dakota as social worker, a real chance at structured help and rehabilitation. But when the worker tried to reach out, Felicity reportedly blocked contact. She took his phone and limited his communication, even with friends like Corso and James. According to creator Tea with Kiki, Felicity didn't just block help, she actively prevented Dakota's recovery. Kiki said she called the cops when Felicity showed up at Dakota's apartment, where she'd been banned because she was sabotaging his progress. And she wasn't wrong. We can't help someone who is being controlled by someone else who refuses help. Felicity even did the same thing with her own social worker, ignoring calls, missing appointments, denying support. It was a repeating loop of self-sabotaging and control. Then there is the emotional part, codependency. These two aren't just partners, they are each other's triggers. They depend on chaos to feel connected. They have mistaken dysfunction for devotion. When they fight, they spiral. When they separate, they panic. When people try to help, they unite against the outsiders. It's a cycle that only reinforces the bond between them and keeps everyone else out. In plain English, they're stuck in a toxic loop where saving each other means sinking together. So here's where things stand now. Corso and James have both pulled away. They're not attacking Dakota and Felicity. They are done being their safety nets. And that's a huge shift because for months, every time Dakota or Felicity crashed, one of those two was there to pick them up. Without them, there was no buffer, no backup plan, no free rides, just Dakota and Felicity against reality. Their cameos have stopped. Their credibility is gone. The people who used to defend them now just watch in silence, too tired to care. Some fans think they might finally push them to get real help. Others believe it will lead to another public meltdown until someone like Corso steps in again. But this time, that rescue might not come. What's even sadder is that both of them had real opportunities. They could have rebuilt their lives with structure, housing, and therapy. But instead, They have become cautionary tales about what happens when chaos becomes your brand. For Corso and James, stepping back isn't betrayal, it's freedom. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is stop cushioning someone's fall so they can feel the ground for themselves. Bottom line, Dakota and Felicity burned through every lifeline they had. Real friends fought for them, defended them, and tried to guide them back to stability. But instead of growing, they clung to drama and dragged everyone down with them. My verdict: this isn't karma being cruel, it's life saying enough. Sometimes losing everything is the only thing that forces you to grow up. And maybe, just maybe, this will finally be the lesson that sticks. So, what do you think, besties? Will Dakota and Felicity finally get it together, or will they drag Corso back into their chaos all over again? Drop your thoughts below, hit like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the fallout, because something tells me this story isn't ending anytime soon.